that's another benefit of having the multi-year, multi-generational thing is that we really rely on our older students to, carry on the legacy of the school, and to kind of induct the new students into it, but also to hold us accountable when we screw up. If we forget to do something, or if we forget that, like we said, oh, next year we'll try X, Y, or Z. Almost always a student will remember if we forget. But we actually start every year with 2 weeks of boot camp, which we actually refer to it as like high mark boot camp, which is an idea I got from my previous school, Tagos, where we all do kind of a shared project. And a lot of times that's been kind of around identity. And actually we change it up every year, just depending on what we think we need. And last year towards the end of the school year, we were really struggling with some students not really connecting, and there was some cliquishness, which you wouldn't really think would happen in a small enough school, but it still sometimes does. And we decided that what we were going to do when we started the new school year was have a project where they were learning about a peer. So it was a peer research project. And we paired them up this year for those 2 weeks, and they learned. It was a really basic project where they just had a questionnaire. They interviewed their peer, they put together a presentation, and then introduced their peer to the community, or reintroduced if it was an older student. And that gave them some ideas about not only who these people were, and it kind of helped them understand, like, oh, I do have stuff in common beyond just going to the school with this person. We also do a lot of even beyond that, just tons of team building activities in those first 2 weeks. We do almost no academics. We just do tons and tons of community building, tons and tons of connections, just to bring us all together and understand that, yeah, we're not lying. And I think that the older students, again, have been through this with us so much that they vouch for us in a way that I think is really powerful for the younger students as well. But I think that the older the student, the harder it can be. Although it really depends on the kid. They're all individual. I have a new student this year who's an 11th grader, and she used to come visit us last year as a 10th grader, just like at lunch, because she was friends with one of our students. And so I knew her already, and she bought in like day one, no question. Versus a couple of years ago, one of our 7th graders had come from. We also get a lot of homeschooled kids coming in. And I had a 7th grader whose mom wanted her to come post homeschooling. And like, that was how she would always describe her reason for coming, was like, oh, my mom made me. And she was just very like stoic. And by the end of the school year, she was like, decision I ever made. I love this place. And like, I have a quote from her that she still uses, which is that just listen to Mr. Primm. He's always right, which is not at all true. but she believed it with life advice that I gave her one time. And I was like, well, let's go with it.